This is certainly a strategy that other agents don't take the time to really interview their clients. You've got a buyer. Let's imagine that for a moment, that you're working with a buyer and you feel pretty connected to them. You like them. Maybe you admire them, but you like them and you empathize with them. You want to help them. And what you do is you have a conversation with them and you just let them know and say, the fact is, in my profession, most real estate agents spend the bulk of their money marketing a listing. And you could even say some of the things you do to pay for a listing. You could say, when in the future you ever ask me to sell your home, I get lots of people involved, photographers, videographers, Facebook advertisers, and just go through the list of the different ways that you pay to market a home. And then say, I am really unique because I actually have a budget, a time budget and a financial budget to market you. Because in this new world that we're in right now, you as a buyer need to be marketed the same way that a traditional real estate agent would market a home. With your permission, can I ask you a few questions about you and your journey of buying a home? With your permission, can I ask you a few questions about you and your journey on buying a home? That's really all I need you to ask. With your permission, can I ask you a few questions? I'm going to scroll down through this strategy because I believe that you have the capacity to read directions. I'm going to go right to these customizable resources. You don't need all 4 of these resources, but you certainly need 2 of them, the top 2 of them. Neighborhood integration questions and helping people on the move letter. The only thing I need from you today to market your listing, the only thing you need from me are these 2 documents right here. I'm going to open up the neighborhood integration questionnaire. And it looks like this. Can you see the neighborhood integration questions, Mario?
I do.
You print this out.
What am I going to ask you to do next?
What is it?
Zoom?
Zoom, sure, absolutely. Thank you. The question is in Word. Let me do it down here. Hold on one second. Boop.
Oop,
too much or good?
A little too much, but there you go. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. So this is the neighborhood integration questions. You're going to pull out this document. You're going to print it out. You're going to pull it out, and you're going to write down their answers as they answer these questions for you. They're very simple questions. They know the answer to this. Where have you been living? And they may say that we've been living in an apartment. We've been living in a back house. We've been renting. We've been living in another city 400 miles away. It's just really important. Where have you been? Whenever you want to help somebody tell a story, part of the story is, where do you hail from? Where have you been? And that could be type of house, location, doesn't matter. Where have you been? Why are you moving now? What's causing you to move right now? And you probably know the answer to some of these questions, but let them tell their story in their words. We've been promoted and we just got a job offer to be in town right here. Or, we're retiring and we just want to be near the grandbabies that, we just want to be in this area. They're going to reveal their motivation to you. Where do you want to move next? Meaning not after this move, but where do you want to move? The next question, if availability of homes didn't matter, where would you choose to buy automatically? Consider the complex community street. Which street, if you could pick any street to live on, even if there's no homes available, what street would you love? What neighborhood? What 6-block radius? You tell me where if a home was available, you'd move there in a second. No question about it. how does your current neighborhood compare to this community? This is one of my favorite questions. This is a question that Joe Stump let spill out of his mouth one day, just casually. And this is one of the most important question structures I'll ever give you. And it's not just for a community. You walk into a house, you're showing a house to a buyer, and you notice they start to linger in the kitchen. And you just turn to them and say, hey, I'm wondering, how does this kitchen compare to your current kitchen? And the quality of motivation you engender to a person when you ask them to compare something that clearly they're enjoying to something that is their current state, it does something inside of a person to do this. You want to write this question down, and you want to ask this question in real estate and lending every single day. What's the rate today? 2.75. How does that compare to your current mortgage? I don't care what thing it is. You go to lunch with somebody today and say, hey, how does this lunch compare to the lunch you had yesterday? This is an important neurolinguistic question right here. We're going to ask it in regards to the neighborhood. Hey, how does this current neighborhood compare to your community? Or how does your current neighborhood compare to this community? Why are you drawn to this area? Particularly after you ask question number 5, you'll get a really good answer to question number 6. Why are you drawn to this area? What'll happen if you move to this area? It may have to do with location, availability, school district, pricing, mental health, well-being of a family member. If they don't mention another family member, what will moving to this area do for you and other members of your family? Ask them. Sometimes they're going to answer questions 7 and 8 together. That's fine. You don't need to ask 10. You need to ask about 5, though. And what else would living in this area give you that you would not otherwise have? Why will other people in this community be happy that your family moved here? You don't have to ask 10, but 4 or 5 will give you what you need. 4 or 5 will give you what you need. Here's why you ask the questions. Hopping back over to the customizable resources. The next one, the helping people on the move letter, we can only write this letter when they've answered those questions. I'll zoom for you, Mario. Boop.
Thank you.
A little less.
Oh, right there.
There. Okay.
There you go.
This is a letter called Helping People on the Move. And you can write this letter after you ask those questions. Here, I'll read the sample to you. And it says, dear name. You could do dear homeowner. And this letter is going to arrive to the homeowner based on the story that you're going to craft. And we're not going to ask this homeowner to sell their house. You'll notice that this whole time, we're never going to say, hey, I got these clients, Tib and Debbie, sell them your house. It's not going to happen. Because if you say sell them your house, if you ask 100 people, 99 people will say no, and maybe 1 will say yes. So we're not going to ask them to sell their house, but you'll see what we are going to ask them. So if you know their name, you could say, dear Mario, hello Mario, or dear homeowner. Dear homeowner will work fine. We need to get their attention quickly. And so we're going to immediately, hey, thank you for taking the time to read this note. My clients, Tim and Debbie, are interested in buying their retirement home in San Carlos. And everything in orange comes from the story. And retirement home should be in orange as well. They're drawn to San Carlos and Del Cerro because of the large homes with separate living room and family room and enough bedrooms to babysit their grandbabies. Do you see where that came from the question, why are you drawn to the area? So they're drawn to the area because, and then all you have to do is give the answer to why they said they're drawn to the area. Since moving to the area 6 months ago, that comes from the first question, where have you been? Since moving to the area 6 months ago, Tim and Debbie have been renting a townhouse in Coronado. That comes from question number 1 and 2. They're moving to San Diego to be closer to their granddaughters and enjoy an active lifestyle. That comes from the question about why are you living in the area? Why are you drawn to the area? What will it allow you to do? It will allow us to spend time with our grandbabies. They're eager to settle in a new home quickly, but are flexible regarding a closing date. Keep that sentence. They're eager to settle in a new home quickly. That means they can move fast, but are flexible regarding the closing date, but they're willing to be slow. We're talking to everybody. We're talking to people who need to move in 2 weeks, and we're talking to people who need to move in 2 months. So that's a generic sentence. You're going to keep that in the letter. Then the call to action. When you notice somebody in the community who's interested in having a quick, uncomplicated home sale, please call me. And I would say, or text me. I don't even know if I would ask them to email me at this point in time. I would say, I'd give them the option. Please call, text, or email me at, this phone number, at this email address, Wormley Jim Smith. There's an optional PS that says, PS, we focus our energy on serving our customers for life with the world-class experience that they've come to expect. While most other agents are constantly out seeking new business from the general public, we found that serving our customers' needs to the fullest extent first, and those that they've referred to us to help us build our by referral only business. You can count us at Urban Companies to offer this unique kind of service not found with most typical real estate companies. This is a good PS whenever you're going to do something that is out of the ordinary that other real estate agents don't do. And this is certainly a strategy that other agents don't take the time to really interview their clients. This is not an inauthentic strategy. This is not, I have a buyer, can I list your house? Tim and Debbie are real. And what I'm suggesting is that you give your buyers the customization every single time you ask them those 10 questions.